Anderson joins us live this morning from Swamico. Hi, Neil. Looks pretty out there.
Well, winter's
Good
actually
morning.
going out, right?
that?
Winter's going out.
Yeah.
Today's the last day.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
okay.
Spring coming in. Yep.
Right.
Well, I hope so, because winter is staying like a lion out here, I'm
Yeah.
thinking. You know, everybody's got cabin fever, but we're in here. We're going to have breakfast with the big cats this morning. We'll be here in with the lions, and then we'll be with the snow leopards. And what we do with all our big cats is we give them access to go outside during the night. So that gives them, you know, much more room to go ahead and explore even in the evening, because you got to remember, some of these cats, you know, prefer to be more nocturnal than active during the day. Now, when you come out to the zoo and you can see the lions, a lot of times you're going to see them sleeping because, you know, they can sleep up to sometimes 18 hours a day. But this is breakfast time, and what Jess is feeding them, this is interesting. Everybody asks, how do we feed them? As you can see, we bring them inside. We don't put the food outside unless it's enrichment. You can see what Jess is feeding. We've got special design chutes so that she doesn't feed her hand accidentally to the lions. The chute goes down, it bends, so it's a nice, safe way to go ahead and feed the cats. Now, how much do you feed these cats? You know, in the wild, you know, they can eat almost up to 50 pounds at a sitting. But what we have to do, and especially different seasons, of course, like winter, you know, when we start all packing on a few extra pounds, we've got to monitor that with the big cats. Now, Shambe over here, he gets 12 pounds of beef. And then on the other side here, Ajaya, she's getting about 6. But, you know, how do we monitor that? And it's kind of interesting because we've got a system within the zoo industry, too, is that they came up with. And I want to show you, there's a couple pictures here. And it's actually a 9-point body condition scoring system. So what we look at is you could see here if it was 1 extremely low. You can see how thin this line is. And it goes up to 9. Well, where our cats and we want them to be is roughly between 5 and 6. So when we look at a picture, and it's hard to tell because, you know, if you're in here every day taking a look at the lions, you know, they look the same. It's like watching somebody lose weight. You know, all of a sudden you haven't seen them for a while. It's, wow, you lost a lot of weight. So when we look at her, we can see she's at moderate to moderate high, between 5.5 and 6. So that's monitored, you know, really on a weekly basis. So we can check to make sure that, you know, they're not getting in a situation where they're putting too much weight, because likewise, if they're putting too much weight, that could add to additional medical problems as we go down along the way as well. And you can see they do love to eat.
Yeah.
So she would eat 6 pounds and another 6 and another 6 and probably another 6. And Shambe, he can't wait for the extra too. But
What's he doing with his paws there? Just getting ready?
He's fine, because he knows that's where the food's going to drop right
sure.
there. So, you know, when we first came in here before we got feeding, what we had to do is just had to go ahead and separate them. That's one thing, because obviously they love their food and we don't want them to fight. So they have their own positions in here. She's always on the right, he's in the middle. And they've got their routine. You know, they're trained really well. You know, this is a good opportunity for Jess to go and take a look at them, take a look at, you know, like say the inside their mouth, take a look at their claws, if they're putting their, like say, their paws up, to be able to really get a good physical look at them before they go out that day. Because then, you know, this gives us also the opportunity, if we need to bring a veterinarian, if we do have a problem, we have them inside, and it's much easier then to go ahead and work from there.
Well, Neil, thanks a lot for showing us that, and we'll check back with you next hour, okay?